Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters 2021 Excellence in Broadcasting Awards. Before we begin, a special thank you to our sponsors. Visit Mississippi. Associated Press. Mississippi Army National Guard. Visit Jackson. E&J Gallo Winery. Maggie Clark Media Services. Frontier Strategies. Community Bank. And CNN. We begin tonight's awards presentation with our college competition. Please come forward when your award is announced. In the category Radio Documentary, first place goes to Mississippi State University for bullying. Credit goes to Hannah Vanderberg.
Your face is ugly!
You have a face of an angel, sweet cheeks. Okay, maybe that was too far.
But how awesome would it be if you, the victim of relentless teasing and taunting or bullying, decided to not get upset?
Brooks Gibbs, a school psychologist and author of Love is Greater Than Hate, teaches young students in schools about social and emotional education.
The bully wants to get a reaction out of you. They want to feel like they can control you and manipulate you. And the minute
In the category Radio Feature Story, second place goes to Mississippi State University for Handicapped Pet. Credit, Bronson Woodruff. Another first place award goes to Mississippi State University for bullying. Credit goes to Hannah Vanderberg. In the category Radio General Excellence, first place goes to Bronson Woodruff from Mississippi State University.
That's Pixie, my sweet, fun-loving pup who enjoys the warm sunshine, chasing frogs, and spending time with her family. However, Pixie's different from most dogs. She's paralyzed. She has no use of her back legs, her tail, or even her bowels. The responsibility falls to myself and the rest of her family to make sure she receives the care she needs each day.
I remember the day it happened like it was yesterday. We went outside one morning and Pixie was...
In the category Radio Newscast, third place goes to University of Southern Mississippi for Southern Miss Today, October 26, 2020. Credit goes to Crystal Lewis. Taking second place, University of Southern Mississippi, Southern Miss Today, November 4th, 2020. Credit, Crystal Lewis. And in first place, Mississippi State University, WMSV, Bronson. Credit, Bronson Woodruff.
It's now time for a WMSV News Update.
Good morning. It's now 10:01 a.m. with your WMSV News Update. I'm Bronson Woodruff. President Trump can now move forward with his 2020 re-election bid without the threat of removal from office hanging over him. AP correspondent Jackie Quinn reports.
After months of...
In Radio News Story, second place goes to University of Southern Mississippi, Southern Miss Today, a party of less than 10. Credit, Hannah Houston. First place goes to Mississippi State University, COVID effects on livestock. Credit, Hannah Vanderberg.
The coronavirus isn't just affecting restaurants or grocery stores, but also on the livestock industry. Covered K Arena, located off of Highway 82 in Mabin, feels the sting that the coronavirus leaves. The owner and manager, Justin Kirkman, explains some of the recent challenges they've had to face.
We've had to turn down several people that've called wanting to book shows and bring in a lot of outside people to have events here, and we've just shut all that down and not let anybody else come in.
They haven't just turned away bookings.
For Radio Reporter, first place goes to Hannah Vanderberg from Mississippi State University.
It's now time for a WMSV News Update.
Good afternoon. It is currently 2:01 with your WMSV News Update. I'm Hannah Vandy. Mississippi State University offers information on the quickly spreading COVID-19 virus. Mississippi State University Health Services Executive Director Dr. Clifton Story.
In radio sports story, second place goes to University of Southern Mississippi. Southern Miss softball sweeps Southern University. Credit goes to Mackenzie Hamilton. First place goes to University of Southern Mississippi. Pete Taylor gets new turf. Credit Mackenzie Hamilton.
Baseball season is quickly approaching, and in preparation for opening day on February 14th, the Southern Miss baseball team has been logging in practice hours at their field. Pete Taylor Park, the home of the Southern Miss baseball team, looks a little different this season, though. Following a 12-week project, the Pete's natural playing surface was replaced with a new turf infield and outfield. The Golden Eagles were able to take the field for the...
In television feature story, Mississippi State University takes second place with horse therapy. Credit Hannah Vanderberg. And first place is University of Southern Mississippi. 2 Bits reflects on his legacy. Credit goes to Blair Ballou.
They had my picture in it at a ball game. The school spirit. That was cold that night that hat was on. I'm Ray Crawford. I'm known to a great number of people as my nickname is 2 Bits, and I derive that from cheering for USA.
In television general excellence, second place goes to Jackson State University. In Depth with Dr. Anthony. Credit Elaine Anthony. And in first place, Jackson State University. In Depth with Dr. Anthony. Credit Elaine Anthony.
Welcome to a special edition of In Depth. I'm Elaine Anthony, your In Depth COVID-19 host. Today, we are featuring the acting president of Jackson State University, and Mr. Thomas Hudson, and State Health Officer, Dr. Thomas Dobbs. Welcome to our program.
In television newscast, second place goes to Mississippi State University. Take 30 News, Friday, November 13th, 2020. Credit goes to Aranisha Dukes. And Mississippi State University takes first place with Take 30 News, Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. Credit Jason Hibbs.
The lights at Davis Wade Stadium are shining bright, and Coach Mike Leach and the Bulldogs will take the field in fall 2020. Until then, though, what's Leach up to? I'm Ethan Foster, and I'll tell you how some of his recently deleted tweets have been causing a stir.
Fans are looking forward to Mississippi State baseball opening up their season this weekend. I'm Hudson Coombs, and the fans here at Fan Day are hoping for a return to the College World Series.
Hope for Blackjack Road.
In television news story, a tie for third place with University of Southern Mississippi COVID on campus. Credit Blair Ballou. And University of Southern Mississippi COVID-19 Times Pine Belt Fair. Credit Earl Stoudemeyer. Second place, Jackson State University, Remembering Charles Evers. Credit goes to Eric Walker. And in first place, University of Southern Mississippi, COVID-19 Times, Welcome Back, New Semester, New Precautions. Credit goes to Hannah Houston.
My name is Colleen Pratt. I'm a freshman and my major is forensic science.
I'm Teresa DiGirolamo. I'm a political science major and I'm a freshman.
I'm Ashley. I'm Brianna.
I'm Dawson. I'm a sophomore.
In television sportscast or sports program, University of Southern Mississippi takes first place with This Week in Sports, Episode 3. Credit goes to Michaela Puckett.
What's up, Southern Miss fans, and welcome back to This Week in Sports. First up, we have basketball. On Thursday, the women's team traveled to Florida Atlantic for a 71-67 win. Allery Mays had 16 points for the game and 7 rebounds. The team also shot 34 points in the paint. On Thursday, the men hosted Florida Atlantic with a 68-66 win. Tyler Stevenson had a free throw in the last 6 seconds of the game to secure the W for the Golden Eagles. Ladavia Strain had 16 points.
In television sports story, second place goes to Jackson State University, women's football in Jackson. Credit, Rob J. And in first place, Jackson State University, JSU basketball twins. Credit, Rob J.
There is an uncanny resemblance to Jackson State basketball players Janiyah Talley and Deja Rogan. Both players are 5'4", both are juniors, and at times it is difficult to distinguish the two.
I guess a lot of people say we do, so yeah, I guess so.
Every day, like when I'm going to class, people come to me, they be like, hey, Janiyah, hey, J baby. I'm like, that's not me. Like, they get us confused all the time. Sometimes they don't even look at my face, they just look at my body.
In television weathercast, second place goes to Mississippi State University Chelsea Aaron Campus Connect. Credit, Chelsea Aaron. First place, Mississippi State University Campus Connect Forecast 10/27/20. Credit goes to Trevor Burchett.
Hurricane season certainly not over yet, and we've got a brand new tropical system to talk about. Tropical storm Zeta crossed over the Yucatan Peninsula last night, was a hurricane, has now weakened to a tropical storm with winds of 65 miles an hour. However, it is not going to stay as a tropical storm for long. It's expected to regain some strength as a Category 1 hurricane, and deja vu all over again. Make landfall.
This year's College Best of the Best Award is presented by CNN and goes to our Student Radio Broadcaster of the Year, Hannah Vanderberg from Mississippi State University. In radio achievement, third place goes to WKZU-FM, Rolling Hills Bluegrass Show. Credit Paul Adams and Mike Garrett. Second place, WLIN-FM, Virtual Minute with the Mayor. Credit Breck Riley. First place, Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, Mississippi flies a new flag without Confederate emblem. Credit MPB radio staff.
The Mississippi legislature adopted its current flag 30 years after the Civil War in 1894, but a lot has changed since then.
We need a flag that unites us and not divides us.
Members of Mississippi's Legislative Black Caucus, including Senate Democratic leader Derek Simmons, spoke on the steps of the state capitol where the flag flies above the manicured lawn. That flag, which includes the Confederate battle flag, is now at the center of what's become a national conversation.
Now is the time to act, to remove.
In radio breaking news, WLIN-FM takes second place with Attala County election coverage. Credit WLIN-FM staff. And in first place, WLIN-FM, March 31st COVID-19 update. Credit Mickey Coulter.
Here's the latest on the effects of COVID-19 locally. Earlier today, Governor Tate Reeves signed an executive order establishing the first shelter-in-place order in Mississippi.
I have signed an executive order which does issue a shelter-in-place
for Lauderdale County. We are issuing the shelter in place. We have an end date, which is 14 days. Shelter in place in Lauderdale County will begin at 10 p.m. tonight and will open back up.
In radio, commercial announcement, 30 seconds or less. Third place goes to WMXI FM for Mako Hattiesburg, Gracie Henderson. Credit, Michael Pohl. In second place, WXRR FM, Ward's Employment. Credit, John Lamar. First place goes to WZKK FM, Half-Baked Subs. Credit, J.D. Gray.
Oh, hey, Mr. Officer Dude, how can I help you, man?
I'll get straight to the point, sir. Your neighbors called to say there's a rather distinctive aroma coming from this apartment, and I'd say they're right.
Oh, that's just my half-baked, man.
Half-baked?
Yeah, I ordered a hot sub from Half-Baked Subs in Long Beach. They're incredible, man.
Well, I need to take that delicious-smelling sub to the station so I can study the evidence.
Too late, man. I already ate it.
Oh. The very best subs, wraps, flats, soups, and salads. Half-Baked Subs, Jeff Davis Avenue in Long Beach.
In commercial announcement over 30 seconds, third place goes to WXRR FM, Roy Rogers Body Shop. Credit, Brian Hicks, Joey Trewick, and John Lamar. In second place, WGCM FM, Electric Maid Bake Shop, Mardi Gras 2020. Credit, Dave Johnson, Brian Rhodes, and Steve Spillman. WCKK FM takes first place with Tom's Fireworks. Credit, Brian Montgomery.
Mission is the goal, and there will be no ordinary display of firepower.
Ugh, this man drives me nuts.
You, get out, get to the chopper.
And we don't have a chopper.
Can we just light some fireworks for the family and not turn it into a battle with the entire neighborhood?
It is Judgment Day.
Tom's Fireworks, Central Mississippi's largest fireworks dealer, features a massive indoor facility and a half-century of keeping their promise for the highest quality fireworks in the area guaranteed. Plus, the largest selection of dollar items and buy one, get one free item.
In commercial campaign, first place goes to WROA AM, Southern Pro Truck, Sparky and Floyd. Credit, Dave Johnson and Ray Norman.
Hey, Floyd.
Yes, Sparky?
I got the gator a companion.
A what?
A friend.
Why?
Something to keep him company all day.
What is it?
A kitty.
That's a bad idea, Sparky.
Come here, boy.
Whoa, that ain't no kitty. That's a bobcat.
He don't like you, Floyd.
He's a sharpening his claws in the back of your truck.
What am I gonna do?
Get you a spray-in bed liner from Southern Pro Truck.
Southern Pro Truck?
Might want to get you a hitch, too.
Why?
Hitch you up a trailer behind the truck to pull them critters in.
Southern Pro Truck got them too, huh?
They got everything for your truck. Southern Pro Truck, Highway 49, Gulfport, 5 minutes north of I-10.
In documentary of series of stories, third place, WSKK-FM, COVID-19 response. Credit goes to Melinda Marsalis, Chris Marsalis, and Rick Williams. MSU Radio takes second place with The President and the Media, from fireside chats to Twitter, the love-hate relationship between the media and the Commander-in-Chief. Credit, Terry Likes. Winning another first place, Mississippi flies a new flag without Confederate emblem by Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio. Credit goes to MPB Radio staff. In feature story, third place goes to Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, lawmakers under pressure to change state flag. Credit, Michael Guidry. JSU wins second place with prison reform. Credit, Meredith Harriston. JSU takes first place with domestic violence. Credit, Cynthia Milton and Dale Morris.
Hello, everyone. This is Cynthia Maxey Milton. The month of October is a month to bring awareness to the issue of domestic violence. It's an ugly issue that can have a toll on its victims far beyond physical. Domestic violence can be physical. It can also be emotional, mental, or sexual. And the scars often last long and they go deep. This month, we are having special conversations with those who have survived domestic violence, but who are also helping others to get out of that situation.
In multimedia, third place goes to WLIN-FM, Virtual Meet the Whippets. Credit, Breck Riley. Second place goes to Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, for Mississippians will soon vote on a new state flag. Credit goes to Kobe Vance. And in first place, Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, survivors remember the shootings at Jackson State. Credit, Ashley Norwood.
Once we stepped outside, I remember seeing and hearing sounds of footsteps that echoed as the local and state police officers marched toward Alexander Hall. When they got there, they were dressed in riot gear, and they turned and faced us after an officer said.
In newscast, third place goes to Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, MPB News 7 a.m. newscast. Credit, MPB Radio staff. Second place goes to Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, MPB News 8 a.m. newscast. Credit, MPB Radio staff. And in first place, Mississippi Public Broadcasting Radio, MPB News 6 a.m. newscast. Credit goes to MPB Radio staff.
I'm Karen Brown, MPB News. Former Mississippi Democratic Congressman Mike Espy has filed papers to run for the U.S. Senate. MPB's Kobe Vance reports on his plans to replace the incumbent senator.
Mike Espy believes his second run for U.S. Senate will be victorious. In 2018, Espy faced off against Republican Cindy Hyde-Smith to fill a seat of retired Senator Thad Cochran. Espy lost by almost 8%, but he says he will close that gap in this upcoming election. He says if elected, he will be a leader.
In public service announcement, WZKX-FM takes second place with Coast Radio Group Winter Blood Drive 2020. Credit goes to Dave Johnson. And first place goes to WSKK-FM for Ripley Public Library. Credit to Joyce Grady, Rick Williams, and Eric Melton.
Journey through the worlds of fairy tales and enchanted forest, visiting castles and more as we celebrate and stimulate imaginations during the 2020 Summer Reading Program hosted by the branches of the Northeast Regional Library System. Join us on our website for our very first virtual Summer Reading Program. Beginning June 22nd and running through July 19th, a new program will be uploaded each Monday with performances and presentations by library friends from around the state. Each new post will remain
In Radio Morning Show, third place goes to WLIN-FM for The Breakfast Show. Credit, Breck Riley. In second place, WXRR-FM, Rock 104 Morning Crew. Credit to Tom Colt, Brian Hicks, and John Lamar. And first place, WWMS-FM, The Scott Show, WWMS 2020. Credit, Scott Spencer and Janet Spencer.
It's The Scott Show.
Okay, the National Weather Service said that more stifling heat and humidity will hit most of the country this week. And
more?
Yeah. Boy, it was hot over the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
You're supposed to go, how hot was it?
Oh, how hot was
it? It was so hot, my deodorant went from sure to undecided.
That's ridiculous.
It's The Scott Show.
When a hurricane is expected, what is Walmart?
Our radio personality of the year is Breck Riley from WLIN-FM.
10 minutes past the top of the hour, we're joined by a guest, Dr. Gray Wallace from right here in Kosciuszko. Doc, thanks for coming on this morning.
Appreciate you having me.
All right, Doc, I know the first thing we're going to ask about you testing positive for COVID-19. How are you feeling? And kind of explain what you went through with that.
Yeah, so I tested positive on March 23rd, and for about a week there, it was kind of rough. I'm not going to lie. I had an excruciating...
Public Service Award, first place goes to WLIN-FM, Doyle Goss Jail and Bail. Credit to WLIN-FM staff.
Yeah,
We are jailing and bailing down here at the old Itala County Jail, the second annual Doyle Goss Jail and Bail. We're raising money for Cruising for a Wish. Sheriff, why'd you do it?
Man, he did it.
Huh? Why'd you do it?
He tried to say I done it, but he done it. We gotta ask his wife.
Again. Name.
Serving the peace.
Drunk and disorderly is what I heard.
Might have been that.
I'm a repeat offender. You're being arrested for insurance.
Our radio rookie of the year is Joyce Grady, WSKK-FM. In the category Sports Play-by-Play, second place goes to WLIN-FM, Kosciuszko Whippet Football on Breezy 101. Credit, Breck Riley and Philip Palmertree. And first place goes to WSKK-FM, Tigers Win. Credit, Michael Harrison, Whit Long, and Chris Marsalis.
Welcome back to Fletcher Cox Stadium at Yazoo City High School. The Ripley Tigers will be receiving the opening kickoff as Yazoo City has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Yazoo City with it. Burnett in a shotgun formation will hand it off to Stiff. He is into the end zone, and Yazoo City goes on top 6-0. Again, Williams splits out wide to the right.
For Talk Show, first place goes to WSKK-FM, Heard It on the Shark. Credit, Melinda Marsalis, Joyce Grady, and Chris Marsalis.
Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark, and my guest today is Mr. Chris Llewellyn, who is the director of the Tippah County Development Foundation. Chris, thank you so much for coming in to the station today.
Thank you for having me, Melinda. I appreciate it.
Chris, tell us about what all is going on in Tippah County. What good things can you tell us?
Well, to be honest, I can tell you about a lot of good things that are going on in Tippah County. I do want to share just a little bit about kind of all things economic development.
In social media, third place goes to WLIN-FM at Breezy News Twitter. Credit, WLIN-FM staff. Second place goes to WKZU-FM, Kudzu 104.9 Facebook page. Credit, Melinda Marsalis. And in first place, WWMS-FM, Miss 98 Facebook. Credit, Mallory Biffle, Scott Spencer, and Kat K-Sealdy. In Sportscast or Sports Program, second place goes to WSKK-FM, The Voice of the Tigers. Credit, Michael Harrison, Whit Long, and Chris Marsalis. And in first place, WGCM-AM, High School Football Game of the Week. Credit, Garrett Green.
Welcome to the High School Football Game of the Week on Coast Radio.
Throws to the end zone, it's batted and caught for a touchdown. Roughs it for King, and it's intercepted by Carney at the 40-yard line. Takes the chest-high snap. Blitz coming off the outside edge, he's hit. Ball pops out, and it's recovered at the 13-yard line.
In Sports Story, first place goes to WKOZ-FM. Leak Academy wins state championship. Credit to Chris Davis and Breck Riley.
Leak Academy Rebels 10, Adams County Christian Rebels nothing.
Not only are the Leak Academy Rebels state champions, they're also undefeated for the first time ever.
Going to throw it over the middle and it's intercepted by the Rebels.
Part of the reason? An excellent defense in this 40-yard interception return by Thomas Cheatham.
And for you, Echo. He's got it. He's headed to the end zone. Academy.
In the category Station Promotion, first place goes to WCKK-FM, Mississippi Songwriter of the Year 2020. Credit, WCKK-FM staff.
Mississippi Songwriter of the Year is Danica Hart!
Danica Hart from Poplarville, Mississippi was crowned the 2020 Mississippi Songwriter of the Year Saturday night.
One thing that I want to say, nobody really walks away a loser here, because I think that singer-songwriters are the hardest working people in the entire world. And every day that you get up, every song that you write, keep going. Don't you ever let anybody tell you to stop.
She was one of 15 songwriters who took the stage at Jason's Southern Table to compete for the...
In use of sound, second place goes to WCKK-FM, Mississippi Songwriter of the Year 2020. Credit, WCKK-FM staff. Tying for first place, MSU Radio. From fireside chats to Twitter, the love-hate relationship between the media and the Commander-in-Chief. Credit goes to Terry Likes.
Presidents have a love-hate relationship with journalists and vice versa.
Read my lips.
All presidents gripe about the media.
From fireside chats to Twitter, U.S. presidents have employed the latest media technology to deliver their message. Yet, there has always been an adversarial relationship between the media and the Commander-in-Chief.
And in another first-place win, Leak Academy wins state championship from WKOZ-FM. Credit goes to Chris Davis and Breck Riley. In large market television achievement, third place goes to WLBT. Mississippi's state flag is retired. Credit, WLBT News staff. Second place goes to WLBT for Easter tornadoes. Credit, WLBT News staff. And first place goes to WLBT. Pearl River flood coverage. Credit, WLBT News staff.
Next at 6, all eyes once again on the Pearl River this alert day, and officials expect flooding will become a bigger problem than a couple of weeks ago.
And an 18-wheeler blocking one lane of traffic after it wrecks on I-20. You won't believe what it's hauling.
3 on your side. WLBT News at 6 starts now.
More rain continues to fall, and it's another alert day.
Yeah, it is. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave.
In small market television achievement, third place goes to WXXV. News 25's 25 teams in 25 days. Credit, Jeffrey Hager. Second place goes to WXXV, News 25's In Your Shoes. Credit, Jalen Morris. And in first place, MSU TV Center, MSU Films Series Submission. Credit, David Garraway, James Parker, and Hal Teasler.
When Kroger closed, it was more than just a grocery store closing. We knew the people that worked there, and it was a very emotional thing.
It was something that I took very personally because I have grown up with Kroger my entire life. I guess there's a brand loyalty there, like this is the supermarket that, I remember.
In large market television breaking news, third place goes to WLBT for Hilltop Inn and Suites Fire. Credit, Ashley Garner and Tracy James. Second place goes to WLBT for Rankin County Shooting and Manhunt. Credit goes to CJ Lemaster, Therese Apple, and Mike Evans. And in first place, WAPT for Pearl River Flooding. Credit, Megan West, Keegan Fox, and David Hartman.
Jackson's 16 WAPT News begins with breaking news.
The overflow from the Pearl River is impacting the lives of many tonight, and it appears matters will get worse before they get better.
I have no work. I have nowhere to work. I got plenty of work.
We just found out that our house has been broken into. I thought we already been flooded out.
Hines County deputies tonight patrolling neighborhoods inundated with floodwater.
In small market television breaking news, WTOK takes second place for Clark County homicide suspect in custody. Credit goes to WTOK staff. And first place goes to WLOX, Harrison County Brush Fire. Credit WLOX staff.
First tonight at 5, a massive brush fire in Harrison County has reignited. Plumes of smoke, raging flames, endangering structures, causing evacuations near I-10 at Canal Road.
That's right. We understand both lanes of I-10 now being shut down. Hugh Keaton begins our team coverage tonight from Gulfport. Hugh?
Yeah, I am here right off the interstate on Canal Road. In fact, Canal Road.
In small market television breaking weather, third place goes to WTOK for Breaking Weather 2020. Credit WTOK staff. In second place, WTVA for Tishomingo tornado coverage. Credit WTVA staff. And in first place, WLOX Hurricane Zeta coverage. Credit goes to WLOX staff.
Hugh, you said just a moment ago, gusts at the station of about 50. I'm telling you right now, it's got to be at least that here at the Golden Nugget. Now, just so you're aware, we're safe where we are. It's raining, the wind is blowing, but we have this huge parking garage just on the other side of Mike, my cameraman. He's blocking a lot of what we have going on here. But if you take a look, it is literally sheets of rain just coming in right now.
The storm passing about right here, and that core of winds, the strongest winds that you see right here, that is making its way towards Hancock County, southwestern Harrison County over the next hour.
In large market television breaking weather, third place goes to WLBT for Pearl River flood. Credit WLBT News staff. Second place goes to WLBT for Easter tornadoes. Credit goes to WLBT News staff. And in breaking weather first place, WJTV Easter tornadoes. Credit WJTV staff.
In South Mississippi, a new tornado warning. We're the first to bring you this. We've been tracking this rotating storm in Pike County for the past 30 minutes here on 12 News.
We know where it's going. We've got some good lead time. If you live in those communities that I just mentioned, Bassfield, Seminary, Collins, Summerall, north of Columbia, you've got an opportunity. You've got a good lead time now to go ahead and get to your safe spot and stay there until we can sound the all clear. But if you're closer to where the storm is rotating and
in small market television commercial announcement 30 seconds or less, third place goes to WDAM for commercial announcement Corner Market. Credit to Summer Holloway. Second place goes to WLOX East Beach Specialties. Credit Luis Solis. And first place goes to WDAM Commercial Announcement Choose Local. Credit goes to Travis Williams and Michael Perry.
The Pine Belt is a great place to call home. The simple decisions we make every day can go a long way to making our community stronger. Every street of the Pine Belt is full of local businesses, and when we choose local and support these businesses, we can help them create jobs, strengthen the economy, donate to local causes, and support community services. Your choice matters. So choose local, choose the Pine Belt, and choose home.
In small market television commercial announcement over 30 seconds, first place goes to WLOX for Allen Beverages Monster Subs Image. Credit goes to Todd Durbin and Michael Philippi.
Hey,
Hey, welcome to Monster Subs. What can I get for you?
When I come to Monster Subs, I get the Italian. I always get the Monster Italian because it's so good.
Our most popular item is the Italian sub.
I always get the Italian.
I get the Italian every time. It's so good. They pack it in with meat, and it's delicious.
When I walk into a sub shop for the first time, I always get the Italian because that's how I judge the shop. Our Italian sub is phenomenal, and the people just keep coming back for it.
It's my favorite. I can't get anything but the Italian sub. It's amazing.
The Italian and the Reuben.
In small market television commercial campaign, a tie for second place with WMDN for the Skin Cancer Clinic. Credit Will Barksdale. And WDAM commercial campaign Wayne General Hospital. Credit Travis Williams. First place goes to WLOX Allen Beverages. Credit Todd Durbin and Michael Philippi.
My name is Tony. I run Joe's Italian Restaurant here in Long Beach.
I get the lasagna.
Lasagna is fresh, man. It's authentic.
It's delicious. It's cheesy.
When I come to Joe's Italian, I get the cheese ravioli.
My favorite is the beef. Why? Because you have meat in there and cheese, and then you put the sauce and you bake it. Really, really good.
When I come to Joe's, I always get the manicotti.
It's mozzarella cheese, ricotta cheese, and it's marinara sauce.
Joe's Pizza, I think, is the best.
You got hand tossed.
In large market television commercial campaign, first place goes to WAPT for 16 WAPT Farm Families of Mississippi. Credit goes to Brett Kenyon, Jeffrey Williams, and Timothy Oxley.
From the produce that fuels to the engineers that innovate to the products that inspire. Farmers keep Mississippi running.
Farm Families of Mississippi, proud sponsor of the 2020 Mississippi Blues Marathon.
In small market television continuing coverage, third place goes to WDAM for Laurel Mayer Speaks on New State Flag. Credit Vanessa Pacheco. In second place, WLOX, Mississippi's State Flag Change. Credit WLOX staff. And in first place, WLOX COVID coverage. Credit goes to WLOX staff.
Your news starts right now.
Coronavirus now officially confirmed in Mississippi. That case of COVID-19, together with the declaration of the virus as a global pandemic, has led to rapid developments with how South Mississippi is responding to those threats. Coming up in your 6 o'clock newscast, we're learning more about the circumstances leading up to a Forest County man being diagnosed with COVID-19. New regulations from the health department, the Coast Coliseum postponing all concerts, universities extending.
In large market television continuing coverage, third place goes to WLBT for Simpson County deputy murdered. Credit WLBT News staff. In second place, WLBT for Mississippi's State Flag Changed. Credit Courtney Ann Jackson. And in first place, WAPT for Mississippi Coronavirus Impact. Credit goes to Scott Simmons, Troy Johnson, and Ross Adams.
No gathering of 10 or more people. Churches are included in that order. The governor says law enforcement will be asked to step in and break up those areas where people are not practicing the social distancing guidelines.
I think there are definitely enforcement measures in here that would allow for them to be arrested. I think most law enforcement officers in Mississippi are probably going to take the initial step and just go in and break them up and say you can't be here.
In the category Large Market Television Feature Story, WLBT takes second place with Congressman Thompson reacts to John Lewis's death. Credit goes to Patrice Clark. Tying for first place, WLBT for Maggie earns surprise honorary degree. Credit goes to Howard Ballou, Jerome DeLoach, and Mike Evans.
COVID has changed.
She was on the campus of Mississippi College for an interview, but little did WLBT anchor Maggie Wade know a decades-long dream was about to become reality.
Maggie has no idea she's about to receive her diploma from Mississippi College.
First, the shock as she emerges from Nelson Hall, thinking the cap and gown was just for promotional pictures. Then the tears of joy as she discovers what school administrators have secretly been working on for years now. They used her work experience as work study.
Sharing the top slot, WAPT for TikTok Grandmas. Credit goes to Megan West and Lamonte Brown.
Two grandmothers from Mississippi have become social media stars during this time of quarantine, thanks to TikTok, a video sharing platform that has exploded in popularity over the last 2 months. While it used to be used primarily by Gen Zers and millennials, it's now surging with new members of all ages.
Usually we're known as the one-take wonders. Usually.
That's pretty impressive.
I know.
Lucille Barraza and Shirley Mazinga.
In small market television feature story, tying for second place, WTOK for County Road 11, DJ Lolly Dude. Credit goes to Lindsay Hall. Also in second place, WTOK for Ladarius Spivey. Credit goes to Tom Williams. In first place, MSU TV Center for It's a Journey. Credit goes to David Garraway and James Parker.
My name's Jim Curry. Grew up between New Orleans and Pass Christian. I must have had a desire somewhere I must have been attracted to forestry and land and everything because my grandfather was a lumber band.
In small market television general news, third place goes to WLOX for WLOX Meet Us at the Statue. Credit Tristan Rupert. In second place, WLOX for WLOX Cemetery Complaints. Credit to Andre Fuentes. And in first place, WLOX for WLOX Confederate Statue Protest. Credit goes to Hugh Keaton and John Fitzhugh.
More news starts right now.
A protest in the shadows of Harrison County's Confederate statue turns heated and leads to guns being drawn.
The debate over whether the Confederate statue should remain on the grounds of the Harrison County Courthouse reaches a boiling point tonight.
A scheduled protest calling for the removal of the statue started peacefully but escalated quickly.
It should not be at the base of the place where we see.
In large market television general news, third place goes to WLBT for State Flag Retired to the History Museum. Credit goes to Howard Ballou, Mike Evans, and Wesley Harris. Second place goes to WLBT for Black Lives Matter protest. Credit goes to Patrice Clark and Trey Mongru. And in first place, WLBT for Victims Recall Moment Tornadoes Struck. Credit goes to Patrice Clark.
It's been hard because you don't think about losing anything like this. We see it every day, but literally it happened. You hear about it, that it's happening, but at the moment it happened so quick.
Katrina Harper fought back tears as she talked about the dangerous and wild weather that destroyed homes and lives here in Jefferson Davis County.
I felt the floor shaking and I was like, oh my God, we're about to get hit by this terror.
In small market television high school football program, Third place goes to WCBI for WCBI TV The End Zone. Credit goes to Courtney Robb, Chris Bolton, and John Sokoloff. Second place goes to WLOX Friday Night Football Showdown, September 4th, 2020. Credit, WLOX staff. And in first place, WTOK for Football Friday. Credit goes to Ellie French, Travis Pettis, and Lauren Carson.
Live from WTOK, it's News Center 11's award-winning Football Friday with Ellie French and Travis Pettis. Football Friday starts now.
Welcome into another edition of Football Friday and week 9 of our Football Friday show. I'm Ellie French.
And I'm Travis Pettis. Plenty of exciting matchups in the Magnolia State tonight, including our game of the week we'll get to in just a minute.
In small market television investigative reporting, first place goes to WLOX for Keesler Air Force Base 403rd Illness Special Report Follow-Up. Credit, John Fitzhugh.
Amy Delcom has said she will always wonder if her husband Sean would still be alive today if better safety measures had been in place when he worked at the 403rd Maintenance Wing at Keesler Air Force Base.
It's hard. It really is hard, and it's hard to explain, the why. Sometimes they say, why did this happen?
Sean Delcom joined the Air Force Reserves in 2005 and served his entire career as an Air Reserve technician at the 403rd. In 2018.
In large market television investigative reporting, third place goes to WLBT for A Plea for Justice. Credit, C.J. LeMaster. WLBT also takes second place for Illegal Pipe Drain Creating Problems for Neighbor. Credit goes to C.J. LeMaster. And in first place, WLBT, Sinkholes Plague Property Owner. Credit goes to C.J. LeMaster and Carlos Sanders.
Yeah, Maggie, thank you. We're actually across the street from the new Save-A-Lot grocery store on Ellis Avenue, and I want to show you just how big this sinkhole is. This is one of 4 sinkholes right at the entrance to this parking lot here off Ellis Avenue. It is at least 8 feet deep and is the biggest of all of these. As you can see here, not much clearance for people to be able to turn in if they're trying to get into this parking lot. It's one of many reasons the property owner is very frustrated tonight.
In small market television multimedia, WLOX takes first place with Delta Dawn. Credit goes to Lindsay Knowles.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming out today. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sheriff Mike Ezel, the sheriff here in Jackson County. And we want to welcome you to Jackson County, and we thank you for being a part of this long-term event that has been going on here in Jackson County for many years. Tomorrow will actually be December the 5th, 1982 is when this happened. So tomorrow will be 38 years ago that baby Jane was discovered.
In large market television multimedia, third place goes to WLBT for Coronavirus, What You Need to Know. Credit to Jacob Gallant. Second place goes to WLBT for Why Does the Pearl River Flood with a Reservoir in Place. Credit goes to Dave Roberts, Patrick Ellis, and the WLBT News staff. And first place goes to WLBT for JSU President Arrested for Soliciting. Credit goes to Jacob Gallant and Rosalind Anderson.
An undercover prostitution sting takes down the president of Jackson State University, Dr. William Bynum, now stepping down from the post after his arrest. In all, 17 people under arrest tonight, including 8 charged with felonies. The arrests coming after making, contact through the dark web. Now, Bynum was taken into custody in Clinton and charged with procuring services of a prostitute, false statement of identity, and simple possession of marijuana. JSU professor, 46-year-old Shonda McCarty.
In large market television new media innovation, WLBT takes first place for Mississippi Weekend Winter Russian Cocktail Recipe. Credit goes to Martina Barksdale and Dave Brettheim.
I have a special mixologist with us residing in Brooklyn, New York. I have Chalice Crawford with Shaking with Love. Thank you for joining me, Chalice. So I know you have a special holiday cocktail. So what are we making today?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a winter Russian. It's a play off of a white Russian. And I'm super excited for this because this is definitely a holiday cocktail. So we're going to do, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I have my cat head, Mississippi.
In small market television news anchor, Andrea Self from WCBI gets third place. Second place is Megan Gray from WLOX. And in first place, Allison Spann from WLOX.
Your news at 6. Your news at 6 is moments away. Now to the latest here on COVID-19 in Mississippi. The state's seen quite a jump in daily numbers when compared to the rest of the week. State health officials are reporting 853 new cases and 15 new deaths. Mississippi's total case count since the pandemic began now reaching more than 89,000. Today, 80 new cases of COVID-19 are being reported here in the lower 6 counties.
In large market television newscast, second place goes to WDBD for WDBD News at 9. Credit goes to Kira Bronson, Dave Roberts, and Melissa Faith Payne. And in first place, WJTV for WJTV 12 News at 6. Credit goes to WJTV staff.
Now at 6, a shakeup at Jackson State. It's one season and done for head football coach John Hendrick. Tonight, the move that took a lot of people by surprise. Plus, a weekend gun show reignites the gun debate in the city of Jackson. And the loss of the Black Panther. How Chadwick Boseman's legacy includes stardom and influence right here in the Magnolia State.
In small market television newscast, third place goes to WDAM for Hurricane Katrina 15 years later, Pine then and now. Credit goes to Kalia Pikes and Gayleen Stewart. WDAM also takes second place with WDAM Sunrise. Credit goes to Kalia Pikes. And in first place, WLOX for WLOX 6 p.m. newscast, April 1st, 2020. Credit to WLOX staff.
Your news starts right now.
Today is the day. We are announcing a shelter-in-place order.
The clock is ticking, less than 48 hours to go until our entire state essentially shuts down. Governor Tate Reeves making that announcement, saying Mississippi is now at the point where drastic measures are needed to fight COVID-19. This shelter-in-place order is set.
In the category Small Market Television News Videographer, second place is Tristan Rupert from WLOX. First place goes to James Parker from MSU TV Center.
Clarksdale, good town. Like every other community in the Delta, is I call it impoverished. There's a lot of things that are not here that you can get other places.
In Small Market Television Public Affairs program, third place goes to WXVO for Law Focus, Episode 28, August 19th, 2020. Credit goes to Edward St. Pay, Nathan Prescott, and Clarence Ponsler. In second place, MSU TV Center for Virtual Commencement Spring 2021. Credit goes to MSU TV Center staff. WCBI takes first place for Mid-Morning with Andrea, Better Together. Credit Andrea Self and Mary Carol Sullivan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mid-Morning. We are again at the Starkville Community Theater in downtown Starkville, continuing a discussion that we started yesterday. We have been talking about race.
In Large Market Television Public Affairs Program, third place goes to WAPT for 16 WAPT Mississippi Matters. Credit goes to Aaron Pickens, Brett Kenyon, and the 16 WAPT staff. Second place goes to Mississippi Public Broadcasting TV for At Issue, the Coronavirus Crisis. Credit goes to MPB TV staff. And Mississippi Public Broadcasting TV gets a first place for At Issue, Mississippi's Prison Unrest. Credit goes to MPB TV staff.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Wilson Stribling. Welcome to At Issue, where we discuss and debate the issues facing the state of Mississippi and how these issues impact you. Mississippi lawmakers are completing the third week of the 2020 legislative session. As they convene inside the Capitol chambers, a number of rallies have been staged in the hallways and outside the Capitol since day one. At least 10 inmates have died in Mississippi prisons since late December.
In the category Small Market Television Public Service Announcement, third place goes to MSU TV Center for IHL COVID-19. Credit goes to David Garraway and Hal Teasler. MSU TV Center takes second place with Purgatory. Credit goes to David Garraway and James Parker. And in first place, WHPM for Fox 23 Habitat Mud Run. Credit goes to Andrew McMorrow and Doug Morris.
Beware of the frights, the scares, and even the mud. Habitat for Humanity of the Pine Belt presents the 2020 Monster Mash Mud Run, taking place Halloween morning in Hattiesburg. Lace up your shoes, wear your face masks, and help raise money for a great cause. For more details, visit myfox23.com or call 601-582-4663. Fox 23 proudly sponsors the Monster Mash Mud Run as we continue to pay it forward.
In Small Market Television Social Media, a third place win to WDAM for back-to-back deadly tornadoes in the Pine Belt. Credit goes to Chris Thies, Ronaldo Hopkins, and Luke Smith. In second place, WLOX for WLOX Facebook. Credit, WLOX digital staff. WDAM takes first place with Summer of Pedal Protests. Credit, WDAM staff.
Come on, ma'am, please don't make us do this. We're asking you to help us out, and you're refusing to help us out.
Because y'all don't want to help me.
Did you tell that lady on the phone that you're refusing to help us out? Did you tell her?
How am I refusing to help you all out, and I got a right to walk here?
Will you let me talk? Because we've asked you to get on the sidewalk, and you're refusing to do it. Refusing. So now we're going to do what we have to do. Per city court.
Y'all put that. Y'all make it.
In Large Market Television Social Media, first place goes to WLBT-DT for WLBT 3 on Your Side. Credit goes to WLBT News staff and Jacob Gallant. In Small Market Television Special Report, MSU TV Center takes third place with The Last Supermarket. Credit goes to David Garraway, James Parker, and Hal Teasler. Second place, WDAM for meteorologist Patrick Bigby interviews hurricane chaser Josh Morgerman of iCyclone. Credit goes to Patrick Bigby and Michael Perry. And in first place, WTVA for pressure on prisons. Credit goes to Emily Leonard and Alvin Ivy.
The death toll is now 19, as another state inmate serving time in a Mississippi prison is dead. And this inmate has a connection to North Mississippi. According to the Rankin County coroner, 36-year-old Omar Beard was found dead in his cell overnight at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility. Officials with the Mississippi Department of Corrections says his death appears to be from natural.
In large market television special report, third place goes to WLBT for A Plea for Justice. Credit to CJ LeMaster. In second place, WLBT for Black Father-to-Son Conversations. Credit goes to Howard Ballou and Jerome Deloach. And in first place, WLBT for ICE Raid Impact 6 months later. Credit goes to Howard Ballou and Jerome Deloach.
Almost 6 months ago to the day, Mississippi is in the world spotlight when several food processing companies all across the state are hit by federal agents in a coordinated sting operation. Carthage, Canton, Walnut Grove, Pelahatchie, Forest, Morton. Now, by the time it was over 680 immigrant workers, many discovered to be in the country working illegally, had been detained. Some of them still behind bars, others deported, families and friends left behind. Well, tonight, 3 on Your Side goes back.
In the category Small Market Television Sports Anchor, third place, Jeff Hager, WXXV. Second place, Michael Dugan, WLOX. And in first place, Courtney Robb, WCBI.
Today in sports you probably could have never imagined. That's a year with no March Madness, a year with no College World Series, and a year with no spring or winter NCAA championships. That is our current reality. Mississippi State men's basketball has run into an issue that many teams fighting for a spot in the NCAA tournament have faced this season. That being the ability to win on the road. However, for the most part, the Dogs didn't have any bad losses on the road. That is until...
In Small Market Television Sports Story, third place goes to WCBI for Mantachie's Montgomery solidifies name in Mustang history. Credit goes to Courtney Robb and Chris Bolton. WLOX takes second place with Abby Bosarge. Credit, Michael Dugan. And taking first place, WDAM for Eddie Payton's Museum of Memories. Credit goes to Taylor Curett.
Eddie and Walter Payton hardly spent much time apart growing up in Columbia. From Jackson State to the NFL, they were often side by side. And even though Walter has since passed, Eddie still finds ways to spend time with his younger brother.
There he goes. He had his back foot on the goal line. He breaks tackles, and then he just turns it on.
This kid sent me a nickel. And he said, this nickel gonna bring you luck, so I put it in my sock. And the night I returned that kickoff.
In Large Market Television Sports Story, third place goes to WLBT, Snacks is Back. Credit goes to Lauren Hoffman. WLBT takes second place for School and for Country. Credit goes to Trey Mungrew. And in first place, WJTV for Coach Prime's first local interview. Credit goes to Noah Newman and Justin Burks.
people. I want to see some people. I want to touch the people, feel the people, say what's up, take a picture or two. You know, that's just how I get down, and I'm elated. The city has been wonderful. They've been extending love and showing appreciation, and we ain't done that, you know, but substantiate the hope that they already have in us, and we hope to be a blessing, man.
In small market television station promos, a third place win to WDAM for promo campaign Back to School. Credit goes to Eric Snell, Michael Perry, and Jonathan Odom. In second place, WTOK for Community. Credit goes to Tim Irvine. And WCBI wins first place for Happy Holidays from WCBI. Credit goes to Mary Carol Sullivan, Richard Earhart, and Shay Jenkins.
Season's greetings.
For large market television station promos, WAPT takes first place for Jackson's 16 WAPT 2020 promotional campaign. Credit goes to Brett Kenyon, Jeffrey Johnson, and Danny Townsend.
16 WAPT News. Through Jackson's floods and storms, struggles and celebrations. Then and now, we connect you to it all because your home is our home. Our people are your people. And day after day, whatever comes, we've got Jackson covered. We're Jackson's 16 WAPT News, the one to watch.
Hello, everybody.
In Small Market Television Public Service Award, WTOK takes second place with WTOK's Toython. Credit goes to Jacques Harms and the WTOK staff. And first place goes to WMDN for Golden Apple. Credit, Virgil Reed.
This year's Golden Apple Teacher of the Year is Gwen Rockette from Clarkdale Attendance Center. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm just really excited. I can't wait to see what else can be accomplished through this process here.
In Large Market Television Public Service Award, first place goes to WAPT for 16 WAPT Virtual Turkey Drive 2020. Credit goes to 16 WAPT staff.
Hey y'all, this is a friendly reminder of
Hey, remember this Thursday, Turkey Drive 16.
Okay, because of COVID, we won't be out and about at our Kroger stores like we have been for the past few years. However, that does not mean that you cannot help. As a matter of fact, the need for donations is even greater this year because of the pandemic.
That's why this year's Turkey Drive 16 is more important than ever before.
And this year, even though we're going to be at a distance, we need your help more than ever.
We have 7.
In the category Small Market Television Rookie of the Year, third place goes to Melissa Rademacher from WDAM. In second place, Grant Chigazola from WXXV. And taking the top slot, Janae Hancock from WTOK.
Intisar, overall, the elections in Choctaw County ran smoothly. Thousands turned out to cast their vote. In one of the two local races, incumbent Tony Cherry has been reelected to the Choctaw County Commissioner for District 1 with 1,063 votes. The District 3 seat for Choctaw County Commissioner goes to Gary Doggett with 1,144 votes. We spoke with Doggett and Cherry, and they both say they're honored to have all of the support.
I'm very proud of the people that went out and supported me, my family.
In small market television reporter, Tristan Rupert from WLOX takes second place. And first place, Chancellor Wynn from WLOX.
Chancellor Wynn joins us live this morning with the very latest. Chancellor?
Just over 1 hour ago, 33-year-old Sarah Caswell entering the courtroom here in Gulfport. And you can see the water from the Escatawpa River is really cascading, almost like a symphony, popping up between each one of these cracks. Now, as we walk through this yard, we're actually going to see Laura Roberts. She's never used a chainsaw before, but she's stepping up and she's going to put in her own work. You can see behind me the stop sign.
In the category Large Market Television Reporter, first place goes to Courtney Ann Jackson from WLBT.
Folks in this neighborhood are looking for any sign of hope, no matter how big or small it may be. And today, believe it or not, their sign of hope was being able to see the striping on the street again on this part of the street that was completely covered by floodwaters as of yesterday.
Courtney Ann Jackson, who was in the Mississippi House and Senate for the historic votes. Courtney Ann, what can you tell us tonight?
Maggie, I can tell you that there were more emotions within these Capitol walls than...
In small market television weather anchor, Taylor Graham from WLOX takes third place. In second place, Eric Johnson from WLOX. And the first place award goes to Stephen Bowers from WTOK.
And these are dangerous thunderstorms. We encourage you to stay constantly informed during the day tomorrow. And as long as we have active warnings, we will be on live television tracking these tornadoes live for you.
This is the day after another tornado has hit Enterprise, Mississippi. I was here 9 years ago after the April 27, 2011 EF4 tornado.
This is something else we may have to contend with next week. See where we have these brighter yellows and oranges just off the coast of Africa? This is where concentrations are highest of some dust.
Presented by AP, a First Amendment Award of Excellence goes to WLOX for Keesler Air Force Base 403rd Illness Special Report Follow-Up. Also recognized with a First Amendment Award of Excellence is WLBT for Felon Hired by JPD. Presented by Mississippi Army National Guard and in appreciation for extraordinary support of our Public Education Partnership Program. New South Radio gets a Public Education Partnership Excellence Award. Also receiving a Public Education Partnership Excellence Award is WCBI. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award for Radio, presented by Community Bank, goes to Randy Bell from iHeartRadio. Visit Mississippi presents the Lifetime Achievement Award for Television. This year, the award goes to David Hartman of WAPT. Presented by Frontier Strategies, the 2021 Radio Station of the Year is WCKK-FM. And the 2021 Television Station of the Year, presented by Maggie Clark Media Services, is WLBT. Congratulations to all of our 2021 Excellence in Broadcasting Award winners.